Six and Six, where we cover 6 stories from around the world in 6 minutes or less. With that said, start your timer. We begin today in South America, where former Peruvian President Alejandro Toledo has been sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for money laundering related to highway construction. This is his second prison sentence, following previous convictions for accepting bribes from the Obradech during his presidency from 2001 to 2006. Toledo was arrested in the United States in 2019 and extradited to Peru, highlighting the ongoing challenges of political corruption in the country. From Reuters, quote, "The court's decision marks another chapter in the tumultuous saga of Toledo's legal battles, which have lasted more than a decade and spanned over several countries. Toledo's cases have added to the tally for the former president of Peruvian leaders embroiled in corruption scandals," end quote. Next, we travel across the Atlantic to Sudan, where a landslide has killed approximately 1,000 people, causing widespread destruction of homes, infrastructure, and community resources. Emergency response teams have been deployed in the region, but face significant challenges in providing aid and support. The disaster has left the community in urgent need of basic necessities like food, water, medical supplies, and shelter. From Reuters, quote, "The catastrophic landslide that struck the heart of the Sudanese village has left a trail of devastation unparalleled in recent history. As rescue teams continue to search for survivors, the overwhelming devastation emphasizes the urgent need for immediate global intervention," end quote. Next, we travel back to North America, where Hurricane Lorena is advancing towards Mexico's Baja California, posing a significant threat to the region's tourism industry. Authorities are on high alert, preparing for potential evacuations and implementing safety measures to mitigate risks of flooding and landslides. The hurricane's approach underscores the increasing challenges of environmental vulnerabilities and the critical importance of disaster preparedness in climate-sensitive areas. From Reuters, quote, "As officials scramble to enforce evacuation plans and shore up flood defenses, the focus remains on safeguarding both the local population and international tourists who flocked there each year." Meanwhile, climate specialists emphasize the increased frequency and intensity of such storms as indicators of broader environmental shifts, urging a reevaluation of infrastructure and policy to better withstand future events, end quote. Next, we go directly across the Pacific to Japan, who has proposed a record $114 trillion yen budget for the upcoming fiscal year, highlighting increased defense spending and social security allocations. The budget reflects Prime Minister Fumio Kishida's policy priorities and political uncertainty and economic challenges. With national debt exceeding 260% of GDP, the government is attempting to balance economic growth strategies without raising taxes. From Reuters, quote, "Japan's fiscal challenges are intensified as it carries a debt burden exceeding 260% of GDP, the highest among major economies. While the government insists it can stabilize its debt through long-term economic growth, critics argue that strategies to boost productivity and revitalizing rural areas have been limited," end quote. iBasis is making a move in Australia. The international telecom company is acquiring select assets from Telstra Group to enhance its global telecommunications market position. The acquisition involves international roaming agreements and infrastructure that will significantly expand IBS's capabilities in the Asia-Pacific region. Expected to complete in the first quarter of next year, the deal is subject to regulatory approvals and strategic positioning for increased global data traffic management. From Reuters, quote, "This acquisition is not just about expanding our services and our capabilities," said Edwin van Ierland, CEO of IBS, "but it's also about capturing the increase in global data traffic," end quote. And finally, we travel to Europe, where in Greece, they have implemented stricter immigration policies targeting rejected asylum seekers, including potential detention for up to 36 months and severe penalties for illegal reentry. The measures are part of a broader European effort to manage migrant flows, particularly from Turkey, while balancing broader society and international human rights obligations. From Reuters, quote, "We are not a country of open borders, but we are a country that respects human rights and international norms," said Migration Minister Notis Mitrochi, the policy change underscores Greece's determination to safeguard its society from illegal migration while fulfilling international legal commitments, end quote. And of course, if you want to read any of today's articles in their entirety, you can find all the links down there in the description below that like and subscribe button. Also down there, you can find the podcast on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Spotify, as well as the Twitter handle at Your Daily Flip, where I post these links on Tuesday and Thursday, so you can come listen to international news, and then the normal podcast that's more U.S. focused on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, with all that said, there's only one more thing to say. Stay safe, don't die,